If you're receiving SNAP benefits, food stamps, you need to hear this right now. The Supreme Court just issued a ruling overnight that's affecting November benefits. And some states are getting full payments while others are getting absolutely nothing. I've got the official Supreme Court filing right here in my hands, and I'm going to show you exactly what it says. I also have a secondary article that reveals something wild. Some states are going tens of millions of dollars into debt to pay out these benefits. This situation is literally changing by the hour. I read through all the legal documents so you don't have to, and I'm going to break down exactly what's happening, which states are affected, and what you need to do right now if you're waiting on your November benefits. Okay, let me show you this Supreme Court filing. This is the 2-page official document that dropped overnight. I'm putting this up on screen right now so you can see it for yourself. And yes, it's written in legal jargon that's honestly hard to read, but this is the actual letter. Here's what happened. A federal district judge ruled on Thursday that the administration needed to fund full SNAP benefits for November by the end of the day Friday. The lower court essentially said, get this money out to the states immediately. Then on Friday, midday, USDA came out and said, yes, we're going to fund full benefits for November. The money will be available for states to draw on. Great news, right? But then, and this is where it gets absolutely wild, just 2 hours later, the Supreme Court got involved. The administration asked the Supreme Court to block that lower court ruling. And overnight, the Supreme Court did exactly that. They blocked the order to send out the full November SNAP benefit. Why? Because they would need to come up with $4 billion in a matter of hours, and they didn't have it allocated. That's what this Supreme Court filing is all about. All right, here's where this gets really interesting. Let me show you this secondary article. One mentioned, because what's happening right now is unprecedented. After USDA announced Friday afternoon that they were facilitating the $4 billion and states could start drawing on the money, states immediately started requesting their funds. Wisconsin is the example I'm going to use, but this is happening in multiple states. Wisconsin requested 100% of their full November benefit allocation. USDA rejected their claim. But here's the crazy part. The private processor that actually handles the money transfers let the payment go through anyway. Result? Wisconsin overdrew their account by $20 million. Let me explain this in simple terms. You know what a hot check is, right? If you have $20 in your bank account and you write a check for $1,000, that check is going to bounce. You've overdrawn your account by $980. That's exactly what happened here, except we're talking about $20 million. The money wasn't actually there or allocated to Wisconsin, but the payment processor allowed it through. So Wisconsin is essentially operating on a massive overdraft to pay out these SNAP benefits. This is why some states are sending out full benefits right now. They got the money even though technically it wasn't authorized. They're overdrawing their accounts to get benefits to people. Now, is this good for beneficiaries who are getting their full payment? Absolutely. That's fantastic if you're in one of those states. But here's my concern. This creates a massive problem down the line. These accounts have to be reconciled. The money has to come from somewhere eventually. And when that happens, where does it leave us? I wouldn't be shocked if this causes an even bigger crisis than what we've been dealing with for the past week and a half. Here's what's happening across the country right now, and I've been predicting this for over 10 days. Some states sent out full benefits. If you're in one of these states, congratulations. You got your full November payment. Some states sent out nothing. Zero. Nada. You're stuck waiting. Some states are sending partial benefits. You're getting something, but not the full amount. This massive divide is exactly what I knew would happen because of how SNAP works. It's federally funded, but state administered. Every state has different procedures, different speeds, different priorities. Some states move fast, some move slow. Some will pay out every...
So damn, Arizona was on it, because last night people was getting there. That's messed up. So I wonder how the state gonna pay that money back.
Everything, some won't. If you got your full benefit, celebrate that. If you got nothing, I know you feel cheated, and honestly, you're right to feel that way. I want to be completely transparent with you. 24 hours ago, I genuinely thought this was over. When USDA sent out that memo Friday afternoon saying the money was being facilitated, I thought, okay, this crisis is
Yeah, guys, that's pretty messed up. So probably I don't know, did they just stop it from sending it out? But probably most of the Republic states got there because we're a red state here. So I guess
is wrapping up. States will draw the money, benefits will go out over the weekend, and we'll move on. Then the Supreme Court got involved, and now we've opened a whole new can of worms. USDA said the money would be there. States started drawing on it. Then USDA effectively said, just kidding, we're bringing in the Supreme Court to overrule the lower court. And now states are overdrawn, some beneficiaries have their money, others don't, and we have no clear path forward. This back and forth is creating absolute chaos. And here's what worries me most. December is only a few weeks away. There's a real possibility we're still dealing with this mess when December benefits are supposed to go out. Okay, let me give you the practical information you need. Check your EBT card. If you haven't already, check your balance right now. Some states have been depositing benefits overnight or early morning. Don't assume nothing is coming. Check every day. Know your state's status. The states that moved quickly to draw funds are more likely to have paid out benefits already. If you're in a state that's being cautious or waiting, you might be in for a longer wait. But you need to know where your local food banks are. Know when they're open. Know what community meal programs exist in your area. Hope you don't need them, but know where they are. Don't spend money you're expecting. If you haven't received your November SNAP benefits yet, don't spend other money assuming they're coming tomorrow. I've seen people get burned by this. They spend their last $50 thinking SNAP is coming, and then it doesn't arrive for another week. If you're a parent with kids, your situation is arguably the most urgent. Kids need to eat every day. There's no flexibility there. Reach out to your children's school and ask about weekend food programs or backpack programs. Many schools have these, but don't advertise them widely. If you're elderly or disabled, this delay is particularly hard because you might not have the ability to stand in line at food banks or navigate multiple locations. Ask if your area has food delivery programs for seniors or people with disabilities. Some do, and they're often underutilized. When multiple states are doing this, we're talking about potentially hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. One of two things is going to happen. Either the federal government is going to have to come up with that money retroactively, or states are going to have to figure out how to cover these shortfalls. Neither option is great. If the federal government covers it, that takes time, and probably requires additional approvals. If states have to cover it, they might get extremely conservative with December benefits to make up the difference. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. This situation is unprecedented, and unprecedented situations create unpredictable outcomes. Here's what we know. This is not over. The Supreme Court blocked the immediate payout, but the underlying legal case is still active. The lower court ruling hasn't disappeared, it's just been paused. We could see one of several scenarios. Another court ruling forces benefits to be paid. The administration finds the money through executive action. This drags into December and becomes a multi-month crisis. Some kind of emergency legislation passes. Unlikely, but possible. Instead, it's gotten more complicated with the Supreme Court involvement and states overdrawing their accounts. If you got your full November benefit, that's wonderful. Seriously, I'm happy for you. But if you're still waiting, I see you. I know this is stressful. I know you're checking your EBT card multiple times a day,